Hmm. Hold on. Let me check in. Hey, check your. Did it say something about we couldn't go live? Okay. Oh yeah, we live,
It's
man.
finally, huh?
Yeah, it's live. I'm checking yours right now, man. Hold on. That'll be all right.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
We're
you're
good.
live too. All right, since we live, you guys, everybody that's catching us right now. Yo, so Omar, it's been a while. I love the setup that we got going on right now. So tell me, man, what's been going on your end, man? It's, since I've been out the game, real estate for about a year and a half. How's everything been looking?
You been out of the game? No, no. I think you should update yourself because you've been out. People been seeing me.
Okay, then. So, all right. So
Yeah.
people that's catching on. So people that's catching on right now. So I have not been. Well, the reason I haven't been in real estate real actively is because, just to be honest, I wasn't. I didn't really believe in real estate too much. And if I don't believe in something, I don't do very well in it. And the only reason I didn't believe in real estate because rates were high, 7%, 8%, or whatnot, and it was very hard for people to get in homes. So when people come up to me and be like, "Is it a good time right now?" I'd be like, it just depends. It's very tough for a lot of individuals, so it's kind of hard for me to be like it was 3 or 4 years ago and be like, "Man, it's the American dreams to own a home, American dreams to own a home," but it's been so hard for my clientele, people that I was helping out to actually purchase a home. It's in between, far between, whatever the wording is. But I have been doing deals, I would say, every year. So I did like 2 or 3 this year. Last year I did about 5. I'm not doing the numbers that I normally do, but I'm looking to get back out there, focus more on new construction. Did a little bit of transition, as a lot of people know. I was a school teacher. I transited out of school teacher. Now I'm doing something else. So there's a little pivoting, but
You
the
haven't
one
you haven't
pivot
made
I
that announcement yet? Are you gonna make that announcement?
nah. I was in a no. I'm waiting to
This
make
ain't
that
this ain't the
announcement.
forum. You're gonna do a whole
No,
thing
not
for it.
no, not yet. But I would say the biggest impact I think right now that will help me out to get back in real estate is by me being in the school system. Well, I was teaching at Evans, so I think that impact there with the kids and me being in the community. I think for what me and you are about to start doing, I think that would definitely help us out a whole lot, especially with you getting your Instagram going and getting your brand up too. I think what we got moving forward is gonna be real dope. So, how about yourself?
Listen, from afar, it was good seeing your journey. On the camera side, you've been steady working. You've been steady
Yeah.
getting gigs. You've been steady, working with local brands. I've seen that. Working with local personalities and celebrities, bro. So, kudos to you. Um, I have been consistent. The biggest thing that's happening in my life, and it's going to be part of the biggest, is I retire from the Florida Army National Guard in like 11 days.
Bro, I didn't know that.
Yeah, man. After more than
What?
23 years, I'm ready to hang up my boots.
Bro, when did this happen?
Well, I made the decision probably it was late last year. I made the decision, like November, December timeframe. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And you
What
gave
happened
yourself
was,
you gave yourself until this time right now to be like you're gonna hang it up, you're gonna see how things flow?
well, I'm a TAC officer. I'm an OCS instructor. So what I had to do was I'm in the middle of a class. So I wasn't about to leave my battle buddies hanging in the middle of a class. So I got to see it through. So the class graduates here on the 23rd. I promised the commander we'll wait for that, and then we just follow the process. So that's just how long it takes to retire from the army, bro. It takes time. It ain't like you can say I'm ready to retire and the next month you're out. You got to do this whole long process before they even let you go out.
Well, man, that's very interesting, bro. Well, congrats to you, boy. 23 years, man. My dad did 22. And we did with Kevin too. I think Kevin dad did almost 30 years or whatnot. So
Sheesh. Sheesh.
yeah, that's why you ain't have to shave, and now you get to keep your beard all year long. Now you ain't got to shave it.
I mean, I don't think I'm gonna be that big long beard. I'm not gonna get my beard as long as yours. I'll keep it clean, but
Nah,
yeah.
Kevin John's way bigger than both ours, but that's
What
what's
what's
up, man.
interesting about this move though is that I'm glad you're very introspective, and I don't know if people care. Put in a chat if y'all care about this kind of thing, but you're very introspective, and you said that your life. you had to do a pivot, and you were super honest. You weren't liking the product. For me, I was managing two careers at the same time. I was trying to be a really good National Guard officer and do the things that they asked for, and I was a real estate agent and broker associate at the same time. So the requirement for the National Guard, they wanted me to do all these courses to maintain my rank and to go further in rank, which I'm due this year. um, Also, my peers, the people who are my peers, they are working. They are out here deploying, and I didn't want to deploy, man. I'm 4 deployments in. I think I gave Kamaya and the kids enough time away from them. I really want to. I got 2 more left that are in school, and I want to see them, get through. So,
Well,
why are you off the screen?
well, I had to sauce it up real quick. But real quick though,
I
the one thing you did say I did like was basically when you was doing the military and real estate. Even when I was in real estate, I was at my prime. I never was like 100% like focused on it because I was at a particular brokerage and I was basically helping out the brokerage and other agents, and I still was a producer. So even at that time, I still was like brokerage here, I'm down here, but I still helping out a lot of families. So from your situation, I can kind of see that, and I can see as you break off the military, I'm pretty sure you go crazy right now because now you're really only going to have one focus. Really, is really just killing the game in real estate, which you're doing good right now by just being consistent. I know I talked about in one of my videos is basically just staying consistent, and a lot of times that people don't stay consistent because they want to see results instantly, but a lot of times it's just sometimes it takes a little while and you start receiving all the hard work you put in. You see it later on down the road compared to seeing it the next day. And just looking at your content, what you've been doing, even though you transition from YouTube to Instagram, it's the same. You're doing content, but different kind of content, and you dialed in. And look at you look at the results that you're getting.
Yeah, man. Listen, I'm blessed. I'm grateful that it's resonating with people. And to be honest, I had to develop in the last year. I had to develop who my ideal client. Like what you just said, the people that you sell houses to, you didn't feel like you were giving them a good product. Like it was too
Correct.
expensive for them, and you. So you're saying your ideal client, you just couldn't service them the way you wanted to. In the last year, I really had to hone in on who my ideal client is, and I'm literally just making stuff for them. This is the stuff they want to know. This is how they want to move forward. With that being said, I'm super excited to what we're going to do, man, because the last year I've been working on things that I've seen in the market, things that I've seen people struggle with, especially locally. There's
Hmm.
a ton of content out here, but none of them answer these kind of questions that we want answered, Stu. And I hope it resonates with people. To be honest with you.
I think it will, man. I think it'll be a huge impact that we're going to come up. Well, we did it. We was already doing it, but I think we're going to do it on a better scale now. And just to have both of our different perspective of things that's going on. A lot of stuff has been built here in Orlando, even in Florida. Like I could talk to you about the Bright Line. I know you went on the Bright Line down there to Miami.
Yep,
Just
did
that
that. It was fun.
that whole experience. So just to talk about that, man, what's going on here? From sports, entertainment, community, and then also, I like to ask you some questions, real quick. You've been doing a touring a lot of homes, doing videos. Why you never stopped doing that, even though the market was definitely changing? You were still showing nice homes, still recording, still doing your videos on Instagram. Why you kept doing that? Why you didn't transition to something else?
Honestly, because that's where the eyeballs are at. Like I came up banging the phones, calling, calling,
Correct.
calling, but that's a skill set that I still have. I still use when I call people. That would never leave me. But I needed to flex a new muscle, which was doing content, which is a whole different beast. That's you know learning how to do camera angles, learning what people want to see, learning, how to shoot a property and make it dope. How do you tell a story of a property? So I really wanted to hone that in because I saw that was the problem I was having with the videos before. I was making a video for everybody and it wasn't working.
Correct. Yeah, and that's one key thing too. So basically, you just identify your clientele, like you said earlier. You dialed in, and you didn't really think about everybody thought about doing the videos for the people that you're catering to. And you said one key thing too. I like storytelling, which a lot of people that know about me, my videos are mainly based by story. I like, I like telling stories, and I think in real estate, telling stories and painting a picture of that house to make people imagine, is this place a good fit for my family, my kids? Can I raise my family, or is this a good relocation spot for temporarily if I'm in the military or anything like that? You're painting that picture to them, and you're giving them some flavor.
Yeah. So, in that vein, in the last year, what I've noticed is that we move a lot of people into Central Florida. The stat is out there that 1,000 people a week move here, and there hasn't been any other stat to counter that. My content resonates from people from a lot of people from South Florida, a lot of people from New York, and people from the Northeast coast. I get hit up all the time with people moving here. But what I've seen happen is that people move here and they don't plug in. They
And
move
what do you mean
here,
by that?
they move here, right?
Yep.
And they don't know their neighbors' names. They don't talk to
Mm.
nan one of their neighbors. They open the garage door, they park the car in the garage, and then they close the garage door, and then they're in their house.
That's
So,
crazy. I know my neighbors.
well, a lot of people feel like they just and it's nothing. I'm not even coming down on them because it's just hard nowadays. Making friends has changed because of the internet. Because you feel like you watch people all day, you feel like you know a lot about people. So
Correct.
making friends has changed, right? But what does that mean for community? So even though this is social media, this is really turning into interest media. This is entertainment. This is like this is keeping people entertained in their time, but people still want a IRL in real life experience. They want a human experience and they want to belong to community. And I want to help deliver that. So,
So, question real quick. So we're both in the communities here. So does your community have
yeah,
a neighborhood a Facebook group?
of course. Yeah.
Are
Active.
y'all active? Active? So can you say that in your neighborhood that most people don't speak to each other, or are you seeing that in other development? I know your neighborhood's a little bit older compared to a lot of the newer ones.
Yeah. My
So is that
neighbors
a
are
big
old.
is that a big difference that you're seeing?
It's hit or miss. You're seeing some people who are super close to their neighbors, and you're seeing some that are not. The ones that I see that are not, I see that they're coming from a different place. So what happens is they come from up north, or they come from, and they just culturally feel like they don't fit to the people who are around them. So not only are they
Okay.
getting used to the area, getting used to the streets, getting used to what's around here, they're
Yeah,
getting used to the type of people that are around.
that
That's what
makes
I'm seeing.
yeah. So that like when me and my wife moved our home a couple of years ago, it was our neighborhood is different. And I can kind of see where you're coming from that, especially you coming from up north, coming down here, and maybe a culture shock because it's different or whatnot. But I will relate to one thing you said earlier. I rewind to not so much kid. I mean, and parents are not or grown-ups not speaking to the neighbors. Kids don't play with other kids in the neighborhood really.
They
How like I
don't.
used to when I used to grow up, I had my friends, my neighbors, my other neighbor, my friends way up the street. I used to go play with. I don't see it in our neighborhood that much with even kids. And we got a lot of kids when I leave in the morning, I see a lot of kids catch the bus, but I don't never see them during the day on the weekend playing. And we got a pool. I don't see all the kids, nobody up there that's going to the pool. So, it's all kid and it goes from like you said, social media,
I don't mean to interrupt you,
interest.
but that was a good point, man. I just went to my daughter's. I took her to the bus stop this morning, and I was like, "We have this many teenagers in our neighborhood. I have never seen these
Bro,
many teenagers."
same thing here. We got a lot of big kids. I like, what? Where are these kids come from? Bro, never.
Exactly.
I don't never. They never come out. Don't And back in the day, we had to cut grass. Nowadays everybody pay to cut grass, so you don't see no kids around the neighborhood cutting grass or anything like that. So you don't see none of that, no grown kids or anything at all. So it's different. It's like they're sheltered in the house playing the stupid video games. Nobody got no
Yeah.
basketball goal outside playing, shooting hoops or playing football in the front yard, tag or whatever. You don't see any of that. So
Yeah.
I can see the different, you know, I can see when people move down here, it's a little different, especially if they're in a neighborhood up north and they have that, you know, they have that community impact in their neighborhood. But it is different down here too. Plus it's hot as hell.
Hey, real quick, shout out Jonathan. Jonathan, I see you, brother. And my brother saying, "What's up?" He's saying he's proud. Family time, great video. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. Um, so
Oh,
what,
hold
where,
on one
what,
second.
you
My
got more on your
homeboy,
side?
yeah, my homeboy, he in the military with you. He just retired. I don't know, he been out, but he said a lot of kids have 5 times the amount of homework. Also, parents are actually working three
Facts,
times as much. Oh,
facts.
and teens are electronically more. So, Antonio, thanks for that. And I want to speak on that since I was a teacher. And he is correct on one thing. Kids that take AP honor classes, they have the most homework in the world. So when I was teaching, the kids that say AP honors be super stressed. So that's why I guess that's why I don't see no teens outside because they have homework every single day. So is your daughter an AP or honors?
So my 15-year-old, she's in sophomore year and she's got her first AP classes. My 18-year-old that just graduated, she had all AP and honors classes, bro. She was in her room constantly. Which is a dad I wasn't mad about, you know what I mean? I got my daughter, she's really focused on, school. She's not out in the street. So I was like, I wasn't mad about it. But she really had to lock in and she was trying to make those grades.
Yeah, it's different. So I guess that's one of the reasons why we don't see too many kids out in the neighborhood, depending on where you live. Just to be honest with you,
But
or
do
whatnot.
you see this topic though? This topic is resonates with our ideal client. So what's happening is, bro, we're older. We're in our 40s now. A
Correct.
lot of our people who are peers, they own real estate. They are in the communities. They're the ones that are leaders within the communities. They're typically PTA people. They're the coaches for the teams. They're the ones that are putting together the parades. They're the ones that are like, putting together the trick or treat thing, the HOA meeting. So they're our age. They don't feel like they're old. You know what I mean? They want to have fun. They
Correct.
they want to ride golf carts. They want to hang out with neighbors. But they want a sense of community, and it's not just community in the neighborhood. It's community within their city, their suburb, and
Correct.
community within the whole area of Orlando. They want to have a culture. It's like something that's right there. Because right now, when you think of Miami, Miami has a culture.
Correct. They do.
It's so crazy when you hear somebody from Miami talk. They have like a Spanish accent. I got this. Shout out to my if you're watching, Ryan. Shout out to you, bro. White dude, bro. Right, white dude is my client, bro, and he's got a Cuban accent. And every time he talks, I'm like, what is going on, bro? but that shows you that even in the area, man, the culture in Miami is super strong. And I think Orlando has that good of a culture. And I'm not even saying that like to hype Orlando up. I'm just being real. There's a culture here. There's a culture of hustlers. There's a culture of people who move here to enterprise. A lot of people move here to make money. Period. They want to move here and they want to save. They want to get a dope
Now,
house, make some
now
money,
question.
and
So
live
question:
live awesome.
when you say make money doing what in Orlando? What do you? Where's people? Where your ideal clients? What they're doing?
So I just read a stat the other day. It was crazy about Lake Nona. I mean, for
Oh,
example,
dumb,
and these
dumb, stupid
and
over
these are
there.
yeah, these are some of the topics that we're going to cover. By the way, we're bringing Live in the O back. We want to bring in these kind of conversations. We're going to have nice visuals. We're going to have to actually have react videos. We're going to be reacting to local content so that you know what's going on here, and we could talk deeply about it. And we're going to give you actual numbers and everything that's happening locally. I'm super excited about that. But to answer your question, there's this crazy stat about Lake Nona, and that 25% of the people that are moving into Lake Nona were remote workers.
What? That's crazy.
Think about that, bro. So 25 of the percent of the people who are buying properties there they have enough. First of all, Lake Nona isn't cheap.
No, it's
Laureate
not.
Park isn't cheap. Lake Nona Crest isn't cheap. All those neighborhoods in Lake Nona, they're not cheap. So what kind of person is remote work from their house? It's typically some, director level, some high up in company kind of people. And then on top of that, of course, the most obvious of Lake Nona, and I'm picking on Lake Nona because it's the easiest number because that one came out, is the medical field. I mean, you can throw a rock in Laurier Park and you're going to hit a doctor, you're going to hit a nurse, you're going to hit a anesthesiologist.
And a lot of athletes staying in Lake Nona too as well. So the traffic bad out there though. Bump that. Narcoossee Road. That's the complaint I get all the time. My frat brother, he stays in St. Cloud. He a retired vet, and he complains about how bad his wife want to move, but he got his house somewhat at a good price. He deals with the traffic. Sometimes it take him 30 to 40 minutes to get from St. Cloud all the way into Orlando, leaving from there to get on Narcoossee. But that's a crazy stat, though. Even what's going on today, and they're trying to get rid of remote workers, we still have 25% of people that's moving to Lake Nona. That's very impressive. I thought,
It, listen, there's no research that went into this video, by the way. This is just stuff off the dome. Like, this is just the stuff that we have. When we do videos in the future, we're gonna be fully researched. The whole purpose of today was to announce, that he and I are both back. We're making content. And mainly, if you made it this far, how deep are we? Like 30 minutes in the game? If you made it this far, put it in the chat the kind of things you want to see. I want to cover. I want to go after.
So Antonio stupid. So he said, out of state buyer. So that's not Orlando. The locals are hurting. Yeah, he is right though. I ain't gonna lie. Locals, and that's what a lot of my ideal buyers were. A lot of locals, like Antonio. I sold him 2 homes. He is not from. We're both from Alabama, but he moved from DC down here. He's not somebody from Orlando. I know he thought about going to Lake Nona too, because his particular job. So he would have been a statistic of Lake Nona because he was a remote worker too as well, which is kind of funny. So yeah, but he
in Lake Nona,
but. So Antonio, I'm gonna talk about him a little bit real quick.
What's the chances I got that one right there with the stat? Look at that.
Yeah, so I'll use Antonio's example. He's a single father, got 3 kids, and he liked Lake Nona because all the stuff that you could do there. You can play golf, nice. He likes the vibe. He can chill. He likes eating at weird places that's kind of fancy. He's probably laughing, but
Like
Lake Nona has
Pecan, Nami.
yeah. He likes all that sushi.
My jams, baby.
So Lake Nona has that. It has that nice vibe compared to he stays in Clearmont, even though Clearmont's great, growing a lot, but Lake Nona kind of fit him more because I guess it gives him more DC vibe, because he's from DC. He was living in DC area, so Lake Nona gives you that kind of vibe, especially from like Laurier Park. When you walk in and like Laurier Park, I really like that vibe, like walking in the area and stuff like that. So Antonio, just tell me how. Oh, he said so. The reason he didn't go to Lake Nona, yeah, this is crazy. He said because the taxes moved me away from Lake Nona.
That's crazy because Lake County is known to have high taxes. So I don't know what he's talking about.
No, Lake Nona do have high taxes.
Well, you mean the Tavistock? What he's talking about is maybe the CDD, the Tavistock fee, the Tavistock fee. Yeah.
Yeah, that joint was super crazy out there. But the people got good jobs to stay out there anyway. And a lot of people, our old heads, been out there for a long time.
Yo, shout out Antonio, man. I was in DC 5 years ago. I got deployed on the DC mission, man. I fell in love with that city, bro. That city is phenomenal. So I get it's going to be hard to recreate what that is because there's so many pockets. DC has so many pockets of different cultures that are in there, and they all have dope spots to hang out in. Believe it or not, bro, so does Orlando. And that's the kind of things we are going to highlight. That's the whole reason why we're exactly. That's the whole reason you and I are together right now. There's a little bit of a gap. Right now in local content, what we're getting is look what Disney's doing. Look what all the new highways are. Look what the new expressway is. We're not getting even in a long form, we're not getting,
the community vibe.
How do I get involved? How do I get involved? What are good charities I could take part of? We could talk about churches because churches are a big deal out here. We could talk about whole different topics that have to do with, where do you hang out at? What is the nightlife at?
Hey, just to say one thing, and you're 100% correct because most people have kids, so their community outreach or whatever you want to call it is basically sports. That's what you see so much of. It's sports everywhere on social media. The kids are playing softball, golf. I mean, softball, baseball, cheering, but you don't see anything else that you're mentioning. Like, there's so many other things out there that we can tap into for community or making an impact in this area. And not to mention, there's so many other things that's coming to Orlando, but Disney, Universal, and Epic. Is it called Epic? What? Why can't I say that name
Epic
right
is
every
Universal,
time?
same thing. Yeah,
Not
Epic
Epic.
Universe.
No, that's what it's, Epic Universe, the new spot,
Yeah,
Multiverse, whatever. So that's been a whole talk about this whole time, and there's a whole lot of stuff. Like Okoye has a lot of stuff that's coming here. Orlando down over there by I Drive got a lot of stuff. My homeboy went somewhere. It was like Dave and Buster's or something like that. I don't know what it was, but it was real dope. I never heard of this place, never seen it. Nobody ever advertised it. Evermore, super dope. Super expensive, but super dope too as well. Dope vibe.
I try to book Evermore for my family, bro. It was cheaper booking a 5-star resort in Cancun than going to Evermore, bro.
Bro, but look,
With
man, look,
flights and all.
look. So shout out to Coach Lowe real quick. So Coach Lowe, um, I was looking on his stories. I said, "Bro, where you at?" He said, "I'm here in Orlando." I said, "Where is this?" He said, "Like, you at the beach, Evermore." I said, "Babe, we're gonna go here." I looked at the prices. Never mind, we gotta find something else because these prices crazy.
Shout out to Paul. I got a comment in here that Lake Nona is 1% natives, meaning 99% of the people that are in Lake Nona are not from Orlando. That's what he's saying. That's a cool. I would want to research that stat. I wouldn't be surprised because the locals. Where are locals moving to? If you're in Kissimmee, that would be an interesting topic. That would be an interesting topic. For
Where are
example,
the
if
locals?
if you're in Altamont,
Ah,
are you buying in Altamont when you go buy a house? If you're local,
hey,
probably
there's
not.
nothing in it. There's nothing in Altamont.
Exactly. So you might be going over your way. You're probably going to Apopka. That might be a local pipeline. There's a
That's
bunch of
a
those
good.
pipelines out here.
That's a good question to ask. Now, Kissimmee people usually stay in Kissimmee. I'm just being. I'm
Kissimmee,
just being
Kissimmee,
honest.
they graduate. They like to graduate all the way to Hunters Creek. Hunters Creek is their Beverly
Yeah,
Hills.
yeah, can't Kissimmee. But that's a good question because when I was in when I got in real estate, my demographic, the people I was working with, most everybody local was going to Groveland, Mascot. Then it started trickling to Leesburg. Not too much Clearmont, because Clearmont, it wasn't expensive at that time, but it did. But Groveland, Leesburg, and then it trickled to, that was getting crazy, to Mount Dora, Tavares, Eustis, and start going that area because of the price point. So, but the thing now I had noticed, well, last year people didn't like the drive because a lot of people had kids still that they was going to school in Orlando because they liked the schools in Orlando. So they was commuting from Mascot, Groveland, driving all the way to Orlando to bring their kids to school, or they play sports. That's a long drive for them. So you're talking about an hour or whatnot commuting back and forth, and a lot of people they was tired of that. So I see a lot of people trying to come back to Apaka because years ago nobody was really coming to Apaka because Apaka didn't have this much growth that we have right now. There's a lot of growth here, a lot of new construction going on, a lot. Kelly Park is booming over here by my neighborhood. Over here where I live is we got a new Publix coming, we got a shopping center coming, a sports complex is coming.
Bro, that
Uh,
Wildwood, I'm excited about that.
Yes, there's so much coming here in Apopka. So Apopka's kind of a high spot, but the price is not cheap. Though you're talking about high upper 400,000, 500,000 for a 3-2.
So Apopka, it's like the corridor, the 429 corridor. That's what I call it. So when they open up 429, and now that it connects over to I-4, bro, that whole corridor from Lake Mary going all the way down, I'm gonna see that moving like what happened on the Oviedo side. The same kind of thing is gonna happen on that side. It's super early. It's super early, but that's kind of where it's going. At the end of 408, that's where Waterford Lakes was. Waterford Lakes blew up, and then you keep going further. That's where Avalon Park was. That was 20 something years ago. So the new developments, they're coming in by the highways, and that area over there, that 429 area,
Mm-hmm.
huge opportunity. That's kind of where the growth is. For example, I got a deal that's closing at the end of this month in Mount Dora, bro. 5, 6 years ago, I don't think we were talking about Mondora like that. We're like, yo, you want to go all the way out there? But
Nah, never,
now,
bro.
but now, bro, I can get there in 35 minutes. I can get to Mount Dora in 35 minutes. And then not only that, the downtown is absolutely fire. Absolutely fire. They got dope food. They got, it's a
Oh
cool
yeah, they be
scene.
having
They
a lot
got
of festival
history.
stuff. Yeah, they be
Yeah,
having a lot of festivals downtown. Yeah.
it feels like the St. Augustine of our area. That's why we like to call it. It's like the St. Augustine of over here.
So basically, you're basically saying like Hamlin. When I first got here, where Hamlin is, that was all orange. There was nothing there. That was like 8 years ago, and look how it blew up. And they're still doing development to this day. But that price point out there is even got higher. So you're in the 500, 600, $700,000 for 4 bedroom, like 2,200 square feet. And it's crazy. The key thing is when you look at prices of homes, this is the key thing I look at when I look at price of homes. Not so much the price of home is what you get for that price. And 9 times out of 10, it's the square footage is not there. It doesn't match for how much the house costs. That's like, yes, you got a 4 bedroom, a 4.2. That sounds good in theory, but when you tell me the square foot is 1,900 square feet, you paid $550,000. I'd be like, God dang, that's a lot of money for that particular size of home. Do you agree with
I won't,
that?
no, I don't agree with
Yes, you
you.
should. That
I
junk is
don't
too
agree with
high.
you. I
Man,
don't agree
whatever.
with you. Let me put it to
Go
you
ahead.
this way. Orlando is going to grow, and some people are going to feel it. So what's going to happen is they're going to have to start. Have you been to LA? Do you see what's happening in LA? Bro, a little house from the 50s goes for $1 million, bro. A
You
teardown,
say the same.
1.5 million.
Miami the same way. It
Miami's
ain't a
even
million.
worse down there. Oh yeah, it's like
My
1, 2 million out there. I
man,
just
they
came from
got
Sunny Isles and it was like that.
Miami got raggedy homes, and they're going for 500, 600,000, 700. They got a line of people that want them. But my question is with that, which okay, that's a lot of money. You said a million or 5, 6, 7. Where's everybody working at? Where are the jobs? What are people doing? That's the question that I have. Where's the income coming from?
Well,
As I
that's
did
why
my
your boy's here.
statistic,
I'll give you the stats, and I'm gonna tell you right now. You want to know? You want to pull your straight up stat right now?
well, I know my stat for
Orlando
one.
Orlando ranks number two in the U.S. for people moving for millionaires moving here.
What? Where you find that at?
Hey, bro, don't get my stats, boy. I'll pull up the receipts. Number two. So when you're saying,
Well,
yo, it's getting expensive, don't listen. There's people who are cashing their
dang.
stuff out in Miami and putting a lot of money down.
Well,
So
you know
there's
what's
a market for
crazy?
everybody.
My boss, whoever I work for, he's a millionaire, and he just moved here too as well, and opened up a business. So I guess it makes
So
sense.
you have your ideal client. That's my ideal client. My ideal client is that. You know what I mean? The people that I'm talking to, they want to seize the opportunity and I want to talk about it. I want to be business friendly. I want people who are business entrepreneurs, people who run businesses to look at our content and go, man, I could do a lot here in Orlando, and I'll give you the blueprint for it. And hopefully in the meantime,
And
you hook me up with some of your friends because I could sell some houses. But at the same time, the value
oh yeah.
is I'm going to give you some dope information, help you make some money.
Well, one stat that I do know is basically in a two household income that you need to survive in Orlando, you're looking around $120 to $130,000 for a two house income. By yourself, independent, you're looking between $90 to $100,000 a year for independent person. So no more. The golden dream is to make $50,000 a year. That been gone. So whoever's watching this, 90 to 100,000 independent. Family looking at 120 to 130. It might be more depending on how many kids you have, because it costs a lot of money to go out to eat. You're looking at $100 probably just for two people, almost, just depending on where you eat at. If you don't drink. So, this is just a little bit, you guys. I know we want to get on here just to talk, just to catch up, to let you guys know what we got coming on and show you how nice our camera setup look. So, my boy he has upgraded his stuff, got his
Let's
stuff looking
go.
real, looking
Studio's
crispy.
back. That's
Look,
right.
so I give it to a couple of people. My homeboy Antonio, he invested. He hit me up. He invested, got him a nice setup too. Omar invested. And I'm saying invested because if you want to do something and you want to be great at it, or you want to look great or be known to look great, you got to invest in yourself. And kudos to Omar, because his setup, I'll show you setup from last year to this year, drastically different. Um, so just invest in yourself, you guys. And when I say invest, invest in us too as well. So when we start coming on here, going live, comment. We'll on live. We can read your comments. We're gonna read it like we just been doing now. We're gonna see us. You'll see a lot of stuff on YouTube, Instagram. Me and Omar both are married, so I plan on doing more stuff in the community with my wife. Checking out some new stuff that I'm gonna record and show. Well, do reactions to that, feedbacks. So if you think about a place to go, just like for instance, I know he said he's going to the concert Thursday. I know my wife is really big.
Tomorrow, buddy. Hey,
No, today's
Wednesday.
Today is Tuesday.
I'm going Wednesday.
Oh, tomorrow Wednesday. I thought it was Thursday.
Nah, tomorrow.
So who you gonna go see? What Eclipse? How you even like Eclipse? They only got 2 songs.
What?
Bro, yes.
It's blasphemous. What are you saying, bro? Stop it. Stop it, bro.
They
What are you
got
talking about?
2 songs, bro. Eclipse.
Lord willing, hell hath no fury. Bro, you're talking about from 2002, 2005, 2006. I mean, that was my favorite rap group. Pharrell is my favorite producer of all time. Like all their beats are fire. Bro, Pharrell is my favorite artist of all time.
No, I'm cool with Pharrell, but Eclipse. Now Eclipse is where my hometown for.
It's not Eclipse. VA. What's going on? Eclipse? Stop it, bro. What are you doing?
Eclipse, whatever. They from Virginia. That I do know, and Pharrell and the whole crew. Newport News, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I've been a fan for the better part of 20-something years. So yeah, absolutely, bro. I remember back when I was making beats, and some of the people on this in here are gonna know me from my making beat days, bro. The amount of times I copied Pharrell, geez, my whole sound was that for like 3 years. So
it's kind of funny you made beats, but we'll talk about that on another subject. So before we get off, real quick, man, where is the concert at? What venue?
The Vanguard. It's yeah, I think it's over there by the Milk District.
Okay, that's what's up. So you got anything else for us tonight, my brother?
No, this right here shows that the chemistry that Tremaine and I both have. You can hear the passion in the things that we like to talk about. So if you really mess with us, if you really like this kind of content, I hope you take a look at it. Also, I hope you listen to the updates that we got for you. I'm super excited for where we're going with this. I'm gonna annoy the crap out of y'all.
Look, your boy Jonathan said, "Hey, they made money." And you start.
Who made money?
I'm assuming he's talking about Clips. I'm assuming he's talking about them because he laughed.
Of course, bro. Come on. Bro, did you not get the last album?
Bro, I ain't got none of their albums. You know why? Because I have Spotify, bro. I ain't got nobody album. Once you get Spotify, you subscribe. You ain't buying nothing no more, bro. Who buys? No, bro. Nobody buys albums anymore.
I still do. I still do.
Look, my rapper. Look, when Juvenile come here, I'll probably go see Juvenile. Like Juvenile, one of my favorite rappers. I'm just saying, dog. I'll be listening to Juvie. I'll be listening to Juvie in the gym. So, hey, I'm old, man.
To each his own. What do you mean? It's the same time period. I mean, it's like 3 years before the Clips.
Well, hope you guys enjoyed tonight. You guys, we definitely are out. We'll be back probably next week. Or, we'll throw something out there, some clips and stuff from this episode. Well, episode, whatever we want to call it. But hope you guys have a good night, man. If y'all got any questions, put in the comments. We'll reply to you in the comments. We out.